There were only 2 when I was up there. One was little bitty, and one was like 5.8,
Yeah.
something like that.
Because they had
It's
a
not
lot of
giving
them
me
in
that
Julian,
1,
and they
2,
had
3.
some of them in Salton
Okay.
Sea.
It
Yeah.
didn't say 1, 2, 3, go, but it looks like we're going.
Are we going?
So
Do
are we already rambling and we didn't know it?
Do I
Yeah.
need to check video?
I'll check it.
Okay.
Okay. So, hi everybody.
Hello.
It's Sally,
And Laura.
And Barbara.
and we're here at El Cajon Sewing Back, and it's Thursday, and we're also on YouTube, I believe. Pretty sure. Yep.
Yep.
Nobody's watching, but we're there.
Okay.
And it is Thursday, and we're gonna ramble, because that's what we do. So, well, that's what we do. I mean, every day, really, but just mainly on
Pretty
Thursday.
good at it.
What?
Nothing.
You've got
Smarty
sound.
bitches, I get. Okay, good. Alrighty. So, take it away, Laura.
Okay, well, today we are going to talk about marking tools, specifically Hera markers.
I'm going to 3.
Okay, specifically Hera markers and marking wheels. Ta-da. Okay. So, Barbara, you do a lot of clothing
Well, not lately.
construction.
Not lately, but I have.
Okay. Well, the Hera markers that we have 3 different sizes. We have this little bitty one, which is just as cute as it can be. And it's great with applique. For pressing down turned edges. If you have glue and you have it on the back of your applique and you can use this small edge. This is really thin, this edge here. So it's a real nice flat surface for getting in your appliques. It's also really good for reverse applique to tuck under those edges with this point on this end. See how pointy that is? Now, the next Hera marker we have quite a bit thicker on the rounded end. I like to use these as point turners.
Yeah.
You know, and even this other end over here. Now this other end is very thick. It's good for smoothing out, like if you have circles or anything like that. I like this one. I like the pointy end on that one too, but the purpose of this Hera marker is actually, it says ideal marker marks and makes creases simultaneously, which can be seen on both the front and back of the fabric without leaving any residue. So it will crease your fabric. That's the purpose of the Hera marker. Now this one's not called a Hera marker. This one's called the point-to-point turner. But it's essentially the same thing. I mean, it is thicker on the top and the bottom than the other 2 we just looked at. But this one is specifically for getting inside and turning points. It also marks and makes creases, just as these other 2. I don't think I'd really use the small one to make creases because it's so flat.
Yeah.
I would be afraid it would break, but for applique it's really nice.
Yeah, I would use the bigger one.
Yeah.
It's also good if they say, you know, how you press your seams. If you're strip piecing and you have 2 pieces or 2.5, because sometimes your thumb, my thumb gets sore from doing that.
Yeah.
I take one of those and do it with my whole hand because my thumb doesn't like doing that anymore.
Oh, that's a
So
good
I
idea.
use that for like press the things open.
Right, and
Finger press.
I was watching a video from she just recently passed. Donna Jordan. Yes, from Donna Jordan. Thank you. And she said it's important to finger press your seams before you press them with the iron.
Yes.
And I
'cause it lays it
thought,
down.
oh, I don't know if it's going to
It
make that
is.
much difference.
It does.
But I started doing it, man, it really does make a difference.
Yeah.
I can see where this would be very helpful, especially when you're trying to get into a tight area You can get into it with the Hera marker a
Yeah.
lot easier.
But it's easier on the
But
hand.
it really does make a difference in how flat that seam lies.
Yeah.
To press it, finger press it first. I was surprised.
It makes ironing, anything that makes ironing easy, I'm all for it.
Oh yeah.
Anything that I can do to not iron, I'm all for.
Yeah.
I don't mind ironing. I like ironing. Especially if I could get my steam generator to work. Still haven't
It
sent
still
it
doesn't
in.
work.
I haven't sent it in.
Well, it's been a year since it worked.
I know. But it's going to cost an arm and a leg to get it fixed. And no guarantee. So I'm like,
Well, should
well,
you get a new one instead of getting it fixed?
yeah, but
then?
they're expensive. And then I'm thinking, okay, so maybe I don't need the top of the line one. Maybe I can get by with the cheaper one and just buy one every other year.
Well, that seems sort of silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if the expensive one's only going to last 3 or 4 years, what difference does it really make? And
Yep.
you know, spend $200 every other year or $800 every 3 years. You know,
Just get a Licio because that way you don't have to pick up the iron.
I don't like that one.
Oh, I do. Especially since I hurt my shoulder. I can't pick up that iron a lot.
No, I like the little one that I have.
Because I just grab it, flats, and I just pull it over.
Huh.
Doesn't hurt your shoulder.
Well, I like the
Oh, I'd have
steam
to
on the
look at that.
Eliso iron.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I haven't tried that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll
the
have to give
regular
that a-
iron. I mean,
Yeah.
it gives good steam.
On my regular iron that I'm using, okay, mind you, it was thrown in the donate box for a long time, so now I took it out so I could use it. But the valve for the water spout, I don't know what happened, it broke off. So I'm afraid to put water in it because I'm thinking it'll just all leak out because the valve isn't there anymore.
Yeah,
Just put
probably not
duct
a good
tape on
idea.
it.
Yeah,
How about you
I
just buy an iron?
could.
And you can't fix the steam. What's wrong with the steam generator iron?
The steam generator, it's spitting. It's not going psh, it's going if that makes any sense. So it's spitting out volumes of water instead of compressing and making steam out of it. I don't want pools of water on my ironing board.
Really?
Yeah. I
Oh.
want steam, a nice
You don't want a year's worth of water. You want
And one
a little
bottle.
bit of rain.
Yeah, I want a
You
little
don't-
bit at a time.
You want to, okay,
Yeah.
so,
So
so it's not heating the water up then probably
well, and I
adequately.
cleaned out the boiler. I did everything I'm supposed to do. I do my regular maintenance on my stuff. And he says, well, sometimes it happens. Just send it in. We'll take care of it. So I said, okay. He says, oh, wait. You're not under warranty anymore. He goes, you're about 9 months out. And I'm like, yeah, I know. He says, let me see if we can do it anyway. So he goes and he checks. He says, no, they won't let me do it. He says, we can still fix it, but there's going to be a fee associated with it. And I said, all right, how much is the fee? And he goes, probably between $2 and $2.50. I said, oh, $3 I can handle that. And he goes, no.
200.
Well, it didn't the iron cost $2,000 or something like that?
No, I didn't buy the one with the board. I bought the standalone, and it was only $7.50. Well, I
Okay.
say only, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Well,
But-
maybe you should find the Google video for how to fix it on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to YouTube. They have
Well,
everything.
Except I had to replace the buttons on the front of it one time. It was very finicky. So I brought it in here and I asked Jimmy if he could do it. And he did. But he says, don't ever bring this back to me.
That's funny.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So we have tracing wheels. Now we have 3 different kinds of tracing wheels.
And you use tracing wheels with tracing paper,
Yes.
or if you wanted to say,
You can use them to make stencils.
to make stencils,
also.
correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Especially
So,
this one, the pointy one.
I was thinking when I was doing, I did that, I did that where I was using I stitched through with the sewing machine and
Right.
made holes, but you could do that with this doing the same thing,
I
which
think
would
this
be
would be
easier.
Oh, that
Yeah,
would be
because it was
easier.
hard because I would like go a little bit too far, and you know how sometimes you put your foot on the you're going forward and when you meant to go backward and so
That happens
there
to
wasn't
me
I wasn't very
all the
skillful
time.
at that. So
Well, like I was saying, we have 3 types of tracing wheels. This one has blunt edges, so it's round with blunt spikes, if that makes sense. Okay. This one is real spiky. Looks like a punk rocker. So this one
well, it's
actually
going to put more perforates.
This
Yeah.
one perforates the paper. This one puts indentations in pattern or the paper or something like. It's still going to transfer your marks if you have tracing paper underneath.
But the other one would be more if you were going to want to make a tear. Does it say on the back what you
On the
use it
back
for?
it says, this tracing wheel is for marking directly on fabrics. It is especially suitable for marking thin fabrics.
So marking directly on fabrics, like making the holes directly in the fabric?
I don't know. That's all
And
it
it
says.
over.
Now this one says, its blunt edges will mark the line without tearing the paper, eliminates tracing paper.
Well, yeah, this looks like if you go right around the fabric, right around the pattern on the fabric and make holes in the fabric. That's weird.
Why wouldn't I just cut out the fabric?
I don't know.
Okay, so this one has 2 tracing wheels.
I always love
on
it when we're telling stories and we don't even know the answer.
Well, I just have to move on. You know,
Yeah, let's keep on going because we don't know the answer. Oh. And there's no, it would be great if it had it says for easy tracing of paper templates.
Oh, another
So
way
this would
to-
be nice if you were
Oh,
going around, like when you
okay.
were doing the,
Oh,
you could
like
use
putting
that on
that
Saturday when you were doing the
hat
hat.
band. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would have been good.
When we
Okay.
made the,
Especially putting the
Placemats.
band on,
The
getting the
hat
band in the right
placemats.
place.
can you go snag that pattern? Run
On
like
the
a
front.
bunny.
on the front table? Yeah, that would have been good. I thought I was clever in how I came up with putting the hat band.
It was
Fabric
clever,
on,
but
but
yeah,
this
that would
would've worked.
you would have worked because you could
Yeah.
just put holes in. You could just go straight through and put the holes there, so you know exactly where to put it.
Yeah, and then you just dust it with a little chalk or something, and there's your line.
Well, I don't even know if you need to dust it with chalk because it's
Well,
gonna
if
have
you wanna
little
make-
holes there.
If you're gonna make
Little
another one,
holes.
if you're gonna make another one, you don't want to put more holes.
Right.
So you dust it with chalk. Okay, what we're talking about is this Easter bonnet pattern.
Which is super cute. Those are placemats.
It is really cute.
And no, I'm not making 28 of them by Sunday.
I'm not making any for Sunday. I didn't even
Yeah,
realize.
but I
that.
haven't finished the one I won. I haven't finished that. I haven't been in my sewing room.
I mean, that's my typical thing to do is, I think, wouldn't it be fun to have those on Sunday? Yeah,
Yeah.
let's start make 20, I need 28 of them. Let's start them now.
At midnight on Saturday.
Well, 10:30 on Saturday.
Okay. But it's really cute. So the pattern, you have a pattern for this whole shape of the hat, and then there are drawn lines on the pattern for where you should place the ribbon, the hat band, the ribbon, and the flower. Well, once you cut out the hat, you don't have those lines anymore. So that's where we're saying this tracing wheel would be very nice.
Because then you could
Because
just trace through the pattern with the,
Lay it back down there, trace through the pattern, you're going to have little holes.
and you'll be able to see where to put
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
And the
place
next
stuff.
time you do it, the little holes are already there, so you just dust it with chalk, and it'll show you right where you need to lay the ribbon, the hat band, this part.
Yeah. Super
But
cute
it was
pattern.
a really cute pattern.
It really is.
And it goes together really
It'd go
fast.
over well. It'd go over really well if I made them 28 of
would.
them for Sunday.
It
No,
would.
I would just do one for the center of the table. Hell, the 28.
Yeah. Okay. So this one has 2 blunt-tipped tracing wheels. Now, right now, you can see that they are side by side, like this, both standing upright.
Very cooperative,
Very
side by
cooperative.
side.
But if you
Friendly.
see this little picture down here, maybe you can see it better on the back. You actually take them out, and you can determine how far apart you want them. So, and you rotate them 90 degrees so that now they're facing out this way instead of laying flat like that. And you can trace the cutting line and the seam allowance at the same time.
That's kind of handy.
That's very handy. Because there are
I like
several
that idea.
patterns
There's a lot of patterns
don't
that-
give you
yeah.
the seam allowance.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can turn those. Wonder if you can turn those sideways on that one.
On this one? No.
Yeah.
Well,
Do those
let's
only
see.
go in one way?
I don't know.
So this is a new handy dandy. No, I think those only go in straight.
Okay, so this
Yeah.
one has the blunt wheel, it has the spiky wheel, and da-da-da-da, it
It's
has
a flat wheel.
the flat wheel.
Oh, that's cool.
That blunt.
Yeah.
It's a blunt.
And these, yeah, blunt. Well, it calls these blunt.
Yeah.
Well, that's a
this.
smooth wheel.
A smooth wheel. Okay, smooth
A
wheel,
flat wheel.
a blunt serrated wheel,
Correct.
And then
a
a
spiky
pokey.
serrated wheel.
Pokey, pokey, pokey.
And then, depending on which one you want to use, I mean, I would have no problems doing this, you know, tracing just like this. That's pretty comfortable
Yeah.
in my hand. But these little guys do come out. You have to trust me. But they do come out. Sally was able to get them out.
There's a trick.
And there's no trick. You just pull on it. Oh, shit. Oh. You didn't hear that.
Okay, so they do come out. You can change the orientation.
Oh, wow, you can.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Look at that. Oh, so you could. Okay, let me see if I can. Oh, look, I did it.
There you
Okay.
go.
But the only thing is they're kind of cockeyed. They're not square.
Cockeyed optimist. I'm
Yeah.
only a cockeyed optimist.
Yeah, because they want to go like this, so I don't think it'll work that way.
Yeah.
I think you have to pick which one you want to use. Now, you can change the wheel. So if you wanted to, I'm going to put them back the way they were. But if you wanted to, you could take the smooth wheel and exchange it for one of these
'Cause
if
it
you
will
just
come
like
out.
the bigger handle.
There you go.
Yeah, because it does come out. You can say, okay, I'm going to put this one back in the bottom. I'll put this one here. And so now there's your smooth tracing wheel. There's your blunt serration. And there's your spiky serration over here. Ooh, I like the way that feels.
Oh, my earbud.
Oh, I'll get it.
There you go.
There you go. The thing I like about this one, not only do you get 3 tools in one,
It's easier on your hand.
well, it's larger and easier on your hand. Plus, you're not searching for 3 different tools.
Yeah.
They're all together. You just turn it over to whichever one you
So
need.
you can either find it, or you can't find anything.
Well, that would be me.
Yeah.
I know I have it somewhere. So I think that's very handy. But I haven't, I mean, I can see uses for it now, but I should have been thinking of for Viking Club, but I didn't. But that would have been really good for marking the band on that. Now I can see if you're doing clothing, you would want to use one of these. You can choose whichever one suits you for marking darts, for marking hemlines, for marking button placards. And
Yeah,
button
because it's annoying
placements.
if you're having to mark through things. It's hard
Yeah.
to
Well, and
mark
I've
through.
used things like this, like especially marking the fold on a button placket,
Mhm.
because then I can just lay my ruler down, run this along the
Right,
ruler.
you get perfectly straight.
Yeah.
And that's the way they show on YouTube.
Oh,
How
really?
they're marking it. They're doing it alongside a ruler.
Okay, nice. I thought I was smart, but I guess I'm just...
You
You
saw the
are
YouTube
smart.
I thought I'd figured something out. I try to make it easy as I can, but I do like these kind of tools. But I really do. I use the Hera markers a lot. I don't sew as many clothing items as I used to, but I can see an application where this would even be good for something other than clothing. Let's say, for example...
Oh, see, on this one, you can adjust the marks that you do.
Right. You can make the distance between the two blades more or less, depending on whatever you like.
They can't see what you guys are talking about.
Okay. So, if you can see on here, can you see in there? Oh, you can. Okay. See how there's holes? A lot of different holes in here.
You can
You
adjust
can
it.
move these blades to any of these holes. So you can be anywhere from 0.4 inches up to 1.2 inches between the two blades.
And I would measure between the two blades before you use it.
Yeah. What this says
Because
is
I'd probably put it in the wrong hole.
seam line and cutting line can both be marked at the same time. The adjustable width ranges between 10 to 30 millimeters, 0.4 to 1.2 inches.
The other thing is that you could do is if you've got like say you want to turn up a hem kind of and you want to double fold it, so you can fold,
Yeah.
you
I see
can
where you're
fold
going.
the hem and then you can draw the line like where you want the hem to be folded on, and then have that line a certain amount away from that line for the folding line for your fold,
Fold, yeah.
for your hem fold.
Well, and I
Which
think,
would be
Especially on
nice.
skirts
Yeah.
and dresses.
Yeah.
well, and also too, if you run one of these along the edge of the fabric and the other one on the fabric, then you'll know, okay, that's a 1/4 inch turn under.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
That'd make it really easy then to just give yourself
Yeah.
Kinda
Well,
like
this
what
won't
I
do
did,
a 1/4 inch. It does 0.4, so just under a 1/2 inch.
but that's kind of like how I
That
did
works.
on Sunday when I was doing the basket. I sewed a 1/4 inch away from, or a 1/2 inch, whatever distance. I sewed it away from the edge of the top of the basket,
Yeah.
so that I could just fold it down. For club, I didn't iron it, but if I wasn't in a hurry, I would have ironed it down on
Right.
that stitching line.
Yeah.
So that gives you a perfectly straight fold line for you to turn down, and then that was a double turn, so then you just turn it again.
Yeah.
So that just gives you a perfectly straight line, so you don't, it's not a marked line, but it's a stitched line, straight line. So I used the edge of the fabric and the edge of the foot to give me that straight line, so that's the same kind of thing you could use it for.
Well, I think you could also use this, instead of thinking about the cut line and the seam line at the same time, you could use this as a pattern resizer
Well, that's
for
true
craft
too.
patterns. For
Yes.
example, with this pattern here, if you wanted your placemat larger, you just trace one wheel on the edge and one wheel outside, and it's going to make the whole thing larger.
Yeah, that's
Or if you
true.
want it smaller, one wheel on the outside, one wheel on the inside, and you'll make the whole thing smaller.
Yeah, that'll work.
So,
Anyway.
now, I wouldn't recommend doing that on clothing patterns because
No,
they're
because
graded.
Yeah, and
So
that
they're
would
tapering in
it's
in
not gonna
different
be the right-
places. It's not going to work.
proportionally
But for
right.
craft patterns and stuff like that, I think it would work.
Still look okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, that's all I have.
Awesome. So
wanna talk
we're
about
going
the
to talk
Mystery
about the
5-0?
Mystery 5-0. You might have seen that we've been talking about the Mystery 5-0 and I guess we can change cameras. Ouch. Laura's was picking out some fabrics because we're going to be selling some fat quarter bundles of 6. The quote for the 31st for the mini mystery. It's a free mini mystery, so you don't have to pay anything. You just have to join our Facebook group in our Mystery Five-0 Facebook group. So we've been picking out some groups of fabric for that. 6 fat quarters. So we will be showing you. Those will go on sale May 1st. But we'll be showing them to you in the meantime. Just kind of get an idea of what they are, the fabrics.
And we have different types of bundles.
Yeah.
So we have some that are kind of country colors, the rusts and the sage greens and the more grayish hues. Then we have some fun ones with bright pink and poppin' yellows, and our focal fabric on all of them is very nice, and we've picked 5 coordinating fabrics that go with the focal fabric.
But it's usually a good idea to pick 5 fabrics that go with the other fabric. I'm kind of partial to doing that. We could have picked 5 fabrics that didn't go with the other fabric.
Now she's making fun of me.
No, I'm not. I'm just thinking that that's a better idea.
Yes.
Because we could have picked 5 fabrics that didn't go with it.
Yeah.
But we thought you might like it better if we picked 5 fabrics that went with it.
You could just make it random.
We could just walk through the store with our eyes closed and pick 6 fabrics.
The mystery quilt is
then it would really be a
Then it
mystery.
would be a mystery.
mystery quilt
Totally
is
a mystery.
hard for some people because they can't imagine it. So it's better that you have fabrics that they want to sew on.
Yeah.
So, and then we'll tell you, and then we'll be marking the fabric so you know which place it's going to go in the quilt, so you don't have to decide where to put it, because we kind of decided
It goes
where
with
it
the
should
clues,
go. With
right?
the clues, yeah.
Yeah.
So the clues will be meted out on May 31st. It's a Saturday.
So I'm wondering, because I haven't participated in her type of mystery.
Well, I've
haven't
never
before.
participated in a mystery before, period. So there you
Oh.
go.
So the ones
You got BB.
the ones that I've participated in before were like, sew this fabric to this fabric across this line.
Yep.
And cut it in half. Set that aside. Now do this little part. Okay, now put these 2 pieces
Usually
together.
1 week
It was
it's
kind of
one
like
clue.
that. But I think hers is different because she's building a backstory.
Well, so
Right.
the clues go with a little mystery story about the heroine, and she had. So the story will be going along with the little mystery story. So the clues kind of go along with the mystery, which I haven't done that. So
Yeah.
I mean, so I can't really tell you that much about it because I don't.
But I mean, that's
know.
that's
But that's kind of
different.
fun. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like reading a mystery story along with doing your mystery clues. So it'll be like Saturday. It'll start at about 8 in the morning, I believe. Sorry, it'll start that early, but it will. And it'll finish about 1
I'll
o'clock
be
or
late to
so.
that.
That's all right, but it'll go pretty quick. It's not, going to drag out. So it'll run pretty quick.
So if somebody is, say, traveling on that day, would they be able to log in another day and see the clues, or are they just?
They
you're not
won't
in
just
on the-
appear. I think they'll still be in the Facebook group, so you could go back and go through them again.
Okay.
I'm not going to delete them all.
Okay.
And we do have, if anybody's interested, they can also join our community hub.
Ah.
We have our private community, our El Cajon Sewing Back private community. I don't know for sure if we can also, I don't know if we'll do the clues at the store afterwards or in the hub afterwards. I haven't decided yet. But we might be able to after. But I'm not going to do it at the same time as the
Right.
because we don't want to make Sally. We're not making Sally crazy.
Now,
That's
after
not
the
what we're
mystery
doing.
has been revealed, are you going to have a pattern available?
Then there's a pattern available, yes. And
And so we have.
and it's a 21-inch square
Wow.
quilt piece.
That's
that-
nice.
So there will be another mini mystery later
Mhm.
that you'll be able to participate if you want to, and then we are also participating. There'll be quarterly mysteries available that aren't free later. One in July. Starts in July, I think.
I don't remember.
July, August, September.
And how
But-
long does this go? A month? 2 months?
What?
The mystery quilt.
The mystery quilts, the quarterly ones?
Well,
Or the mini mystery is
The
just
mini
one day.
mystery.
It's just a 1-day mini mystery, the
Okay.
31st.
okay.
So, but then there'll be quarterly mysteries that you guys can participate in and continue this to learn the story of the heroine that goes along further
okay.
along. So if you don't want to miss out on
So we
finding out
only
what
get
happens
through
to
a
her.
quarter of the book on May 31st,
Right,
and then we
you
have to go for the
you
next.
get more the rest of the
Okay.
book as you go forward.
Okay, got it.
But so
Now, on the Fat Quarter bundles that we're putting together,
right,
we have
we have 6 or 7.
we have 6 right now, and
Plus
then
the batik,
Plus the
assuming the
batiks will be
batik
7.
fabrics come in.
Yeah.
right. So we for sure have 6 different bundles, each of which contain 6 Fat Quarters.
And Jimmy was being very persnickety about not letting us make too many
Because he doesn't want
copies of
leftovers.
those bundles, because he didn't want us to make too many of them. I thought I wanted to make plenty so you guys had plenty to choose from, but he was kind of like, why are you making so many different bundles, and why are you making so many of said bundles? But
And his idea was, when it's gone, you should have bought it earlier. You know?
But anyway, so I mean, we might be able to make more if we have any more of the fabric, but I
Yeah.
don't know. Some of the fabric
several
we
of the
don't
fabrics
have
were in very limited quantity after I
So.
cut enough for these.
for these, so,
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking 3/4 of a
Yeah.
yard to a yard and a half is all
so we
that was
might not
left.
be able to get more. So,
Yeah.
so anyway, so that's our story. So I hope that you'll join us in our Facebook mystery group. It's I can put the link in the
Underneath the Rambling
Underneath
Thursday. today.
Ramblin' Thursday today, yeah. I'll put the link in so you can find it.
Well, and mystery quilts are fun.
I think it'll be fun.
And I think it'll be really fun if they go to the community website and talk about, hey, you know, what's going on with this mystery quilt? This is the clue I have. This is what I've done.
Yeah.
Is this what you've done?
Right,
You know, it's
yeah.
it's a good community
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
community builder.
anyway. All right. You have any other questions, or nobody's seeming to?
Nope.
Nobody's popped in and said, "Hey." So, anyway, we babbled on along. Oh, we babbled on for over half an hour.
Oh, then we're done.
Then we're done.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll be back next week. I don't know. Well, we might show you what we've got from Strapology. My Strapology not rulers, but my Strapology books and some patterns are coming in tomorrow. So get those checked in.
Nice.
So that'll be fun. Strapology class is
26.
the 26th, Saturday.
Ah.
Lil's Club is on May 10th in the afternoon at 1:30. If anybody's interested, it's Lil Inga. It's $25 for the class. That includes, you get the pattern. So if you already bought the pattern, then I'll refund you the money for the pattern that you paid for it already. But it's a club. There will be 6 meetings in the year, because it's every other month that the Lil's patterns will come out.
Okay.
And there's a video that they make from Stripology, so we'll watch her video, and for the $25 you have the opportunity to get have access to a copy of that video to watch. We'll watch that video, and then you can have access to that video also.
Nice.
But you have to have an account on Stripology so that we can pop it into that account. So I'll explain that all to you at Club, Stripology Club on May 10th, 1:30 after Viking Club, so make a day of it. Come to Viking Club in the morning, and then Stripology Club in the afternoon.
Sounds like a great day.
And it'll be an awesome day. And what else is new? I think that's all the new stuff I have to say.
We got a new fabric in, right?
Not yet. Not
Oh.
yet. And
We'll talk about that next time.
And I'm working on some embroidery classes, because I think people might like embroidery classes. And I think it might be that we'll do them on Zoom
You
instead
mean how to do embroidery, not the software stuff, right?
right. Like
Nice.
some embroidery, like Epic 3, or
Okay.
I don't know if they need to be specific for, but definitely we'll do a couple. I definitely need to do a
Like beginners classes?
well, we probably need to do beginners, but beginner class I probably need to have people come in.
Yeah.
Well,
but-
but I like the Zoom idea because, like, especially if you had a class where you just talked about stabilizers, there's so many different stabilizers on the market.
That confuses
Yeah, but
a
I don't
new
want to
beginner
talk about
like anything.
stabilizers.
But
that-
that's kind of the beginnings of embroidery, is making sure you have the
Right
right
stabilizer.
stabilizer.
But we also need to do a sew steady embroidery class. We'll do a sew steady embroidery class, which is more probably like more of a quilting embroidery class. So we'll watch for that. We'll be doing one of those
Okay.
when I get my brain together. It's
Toast.
toast.
Yeah.
Toast,
You know what?
toast.
One of the ladies that I'm teaching how to sew in the evenings, her dog is named Toast.
Toast?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
And it looks like the color of toast.
Burnt or
Burnt?
Not
toast.
burnt. No, not burnt.
All
It's
right.
a sweet dog.
Well, thanks you guys for watching. Let us know things that we might be able to help you with, or things that you have questions about. If you don't let us know what you need, then we can't help you.
Then we'll just ramble.
Well, we
about
might not be
anything.
able to help you anyway, but
Yeah.
there we go.
At least we can try.
We do try. Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
And we have taken requests and followed through on.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm working on I'm working on a YouTube video for cutting your applique. If you have an applique pattern, I just had to find an applique software, applique embroidery. So I'm working on a YouTube video. So if you have an applique, I don't need you to give me one. I just had to find one on my computer.
Oh, okay.
So an applique pattern from in your software, and you need to cut it on your Memento.
oh,
So how
Ah,
to
gotcha.
send that? How to send those
files.
SVG files to your Memento and cut them. So I'm working on that.
That's a good idea.
So anyway, it shouldn't be that hard to do, but then I had to find the right embroidery to do it with. So There you go. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you
Thank
next
you.
Thursday.